In this video, I will be exploring skits and clips from AMV Hells 8 and 8.5 that I dislike. Expect a lot of negativity in this video. Wherever possible, I will try to be objective in my reasoning to include some of these clips you're about to see, but ultimately, they are mainly here because they simply do not appeal to my narrow and arbitrary sense of taste and quality. I sincerely hope that none of the editors responsible for any of the clips I'm about to feature in this volume, and indeed any of the previous volumes of this video series, take my words too harshly or personally. I will be unkind, and I will be sarcastic, but my opinions are my own and mine alone. Please just keep that in mind. With that out of the way, I want to have some fun with this volume, so I'm going to be handing out some special awards before I introduce each clip. And to start things off, the award for most pointless observation goes to Country Roads. Let's go. Why is this funny? I can only imagine the editor's answer to be, this character kind of looks like Mario. Get it? We know. We know they look like Mario. That was obviously the whole point of the hat and the moustache. The animator added them specifically to make a direct reference to Super Mario. If a person sees this visual and doesn't understand the reference, hearing "Let's-a go" sure as hell isn't going to make a difference. It is redundant. This is as pointless as taking footage of Dark Helmet and playing it with audio from Darth Vader. You're not being clever, you're not being observant, and you're not even making a joke. You are explaining a joke. The best thing that I can say about this clip is it's only 4 seconds long. Thank you. The award for laziest, most undeserved laugh goes to
Full of country goodness and green penis. Wait, that's terrible. I quit. Just a handful for the road. Oh, yeah.
Did you chuckle at this? I don't blame you if you did, but still, I think you should be mildly ashamed of yourself. This skit suffers from the elevation issue. You could listen to the audio without the visuals, and the humor wouldn't be much different. The audio is funny because it is a layered joke satirizing the later career of Orson Welles. The man who was once one of the most famous movie stars of his age eventually found himself so desperate for money that he recorded voiceovers for food product commercials.
This is a lot of shit, you know that.
The Critic, the show where this audio clip comes from, shows a caricature of Orson Welles, attempts a line reading, becomes disgusted by the terrible wordplay, leaves, but not before taking a handful of peas, because besides being old and proud, he was also obese. None of this is reflected in the AMV Hell clip, because he said green penis, funny, ha 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 ha. Yeah, I just kind of resent that. I mean, if the clip makes people laugh, that's really all that matters. But still, this clip does none of the work but still reaps all of the rewards. Well, it could have been a lot worse. The Nothing Award goes to...
This is the Lockpicking Lawyer, and what I have for you today is a so-called high-security mortise cylinder. I'm going to use a 40 thousandths thick turner and a standard hook in 25 thousandths. Little click out of 1, click on 2, and there we go, we got it open.
Apparently, there is a lawyer who picks locks, and this is footage of a lock being picked, while the lock picker talks about picking a lock. This is Swiss editing at its absolute worst. Why is this funny? How is this entertaining? In what way is this worthwhile? Hey, it's insert name of supposedly famous person or thing is the most worthless kind of content. I don't know who or what the lock-picking lawyer is, and I don't care. I'm not interested in your fandom, but I am willing to share in it as long as you do something interesting or funny with it. This skit does neither. It is a nothing. The award for most nonsensical skit goes to... First of all, this skit annoys me because it teases playing the theme from Mask, one of the catchiest cartoon opening theme songs from the 1980s, only to deny us the pleasure of it. Lame. Second, what is the logic of this scene? Is the music supposed to be diegetic? Can the male character hear the music from the beginning? The music stutters with the android, so it seems like it is supposed to be diegetic, but why is it playing in the first place? And why is it the theme from Mask? Because it correlates to the fact that the android girl's face comes off and splits apart like a mask? The male character seems to be surprised to learn that she's an android. I mean, I could be wrong. I've never seen the show for myself. But I can only go by what I see in front of me, and it looks like this is supposed to be some kind of shocking reveal. I don't understand the context. I don't get the connection. I don't get the joke, if there even is one. Nothing makes sense here, and that annoys me. Lastly, was that JonTron Watt necessary? I hate internet celebrities, and I especially hate loud and obnoxious reactions from internet celebrities that people use to make meme responses. This skit hurts my brain, and I hate it. The skip it every time it comes up award goes to... That'll do. I refuse to play this in full because I don't want to scratch my ears out of my skull. What I find especially annoying about this one is the idea has already been done in AMV Hell 4, and it was done fairly well. So then, why do it again? And why do it worse? I am very sorry, but this next video I am going to play in full. The Allegory Award goes to...
We can do the Road Warrior!
No, we go in, we kill. No more talk, we kill.
If this skit wasn't intended to be a troll video, I will be truly shocked. I can only assume that the editor of this video was trying their very best to replace Adsman's Allegory as one of the most insulting AMV Hell videos ever made. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, I'm referring to this. One of the very worst things AMV Hell has ever produced. Just one of them. At first, it isn't obvious what's going on. I even thought that the sound effects were supposed to be squelchy footsteps or something. But all doubt is removed when we hear the Road Warrior line. The sound effects are queefs. How clever. I have seen South Park. I like South Park. I think the episode this audio comes from is a funny one. Here, the audio has no context. Who is the speaker? Who is the we they are referring to? Who are they talking to? And why? The complete and utter lack of joke crafting on display here is, if you pardon the expression, laughable. This is just vulgarity for the sake of vulgarity. Pathetic. Adsman, I don't know why you changed your name to Hotaru T here, but we never need to see anything like this from you ever again. The What the Hell Was That award goes to... What the hell was that? The This Is Not How You Do AMV Hell award goes to...
But, like, that one time I called you didn't know that Kaji died. Like, do you think that that's, like... I didn't mean to, like...
You were talking to somebody... Stop talking about this f***ing show. Wait. This is the first anime I ever saw. You never actually saw him die.
No, that's
Shut the f*** up. You never actually see him die. I watched the f***ing show for...
You get the idea. The creativity of this video is astounding. It's footage of Evangelion spliced with, get this, audio of people talking about Evangelion. Amazing. I guarantee nobody on the planet would have ever thought to connect these two completely unrelated properties before Zeonic Freak did. I suppose if they were talking about strawberries, we would have seen strawberries, right? Sarcasm aside, why is this supposedly funny? One of the speakers gets increasingly frustrated as they discuss the events of the show, or at least I assume they do, because from start to finish we are subjected to 10 audio bleeps. By my counts, AMV Hell 8.5 had about 60 counts of audio censorship and 41 bleeps. A quarter of these bleeps belong to this video alone. This isn't comedy, this is audio torture. Most AMV Hell videos take a song and try to present it in an entertaining or funny way. Other videos take a sound clip from a show or movie and try to present it in an entertaining or funny way. This video presents a conversation. It isn't creative, it isn't funny, and it isn't entertaining. This is not AMV Hell. Alright, here it is. The final video. The one that I consider to be the very worst skit of AMV Hell in the year 2024.
Unbelievable that this little piece of junk could be such a big problem.
No wonder this cartridge fails. It says made in Abyss.
What do you mean, Doc? All the best stuff is made in Abyss.
Unbelievable.
Get comfortable, because this is going to be a long breakdown. The humor in this skit is layered, and it may be esoteric. To fully understand it, one does need to have some knowledge of the two ingredient sources. The primary audio source is Back to the Future Part 3, and the video source is Made in Abyss, Dawn of the Deep Soul. The Back to the Future trilogy should be familiar to most people, but not everybody is likely to have seen the entirety of Made in Abyss, let alone the movie that appears between its first and second seasons. Inside jokes can be a risky venture, because they risk alienating general audiences, so already we have a slight issue. The first line is spoken by the character Bondrude. He's a scientist or something of the sort, so it makes sense that he takes the speaking role of Doc Brown.
Unbelievable that this little piece of junk could be such a big problem.
As this line is spoken, a cartridge is ejected from him. I won't spoil what the cartridge contains, but suffice to say, it is very, very bad. The audio quality seems to shift with the second line. The voice sounds a bit fuzzy.
No wonder this cartridge fails. It says made in Abyss.
As this line is delivered, we see an object being presented with a Made in Abyss patch. This is a foreign element. To be fair, it's not intrusive, and it's not a problem. The character Nanachi responds.
What do you mean, Doc? All the best stuff is made in Abyss.
For some reason, they don't sound like Michael J. Fox or themselves, they sound like Bugs Bunny. By saying Made in Abyss, the title of the show is dropped twice. Whether or not this is intended as a joke or an Easter egg is debatable. Finally, Bondrude closes the skit with the same word he started it with.
Unbelievable.
Not exactly the strongest punchline, but there you have it. So, taking everything at face value, the joke is, Bondrude is heartlessly dismissive of the efficacy of a cartridge, and Nanachi scolds him for it. With the proper knowledge of the source video and audio, the joke is definitely dark, but hardly funny. Without the insider knowledge, the casual viewer doesn't understand the significance of the cartridge or its contents, and only hears a Bugs Bunny sound-alike telling the weird furry villain man not to diss the Abyss. Is this funny? No. The gag is a dud. So then, the skit has failed to be funny. It is not good. Of course, not good doesn't mean bad or worst. So why is this video here? Let's go deeper. Every AMV Hell video starts with an idea. Back to the Future and Made in Abyss. Doc Brown is a scientist, and Bondrude is something of a scientist himself. We have a connection. Not a big one, or a particularly strong one, but it's a start. There's a scene in the Made in Abyss movie where Bondrewd's technology fails him, and he shares an exchange with the protagonists. In Back to the Future Part 3, there is a scene when Doc Brown deals with faulty technology, and he shares an exchange with Marty McFly. We have a connection, and we have a pair of matching scenes. Now, what about the audio? What are we actually working with? Here is the original audio source, trimmed for brevity.
Unbelievable that this little piece of junk could be such a big problem. No wonder this circuit failed. It says made in Japan.
What do you mean, Doc? All the best stuff is made in Japan.
Unbelievable.
It's a cute scene with a simple, subtle joke. The Doc Brown of 1955, unaware of future events, is surprised to learn of Japan's rise as a nation of quality manufacture. Bondrewd can voice Doc Brown. As for Marty, the best bet would probably be Reg. So then, how well can this audio fit with Made in Abyss?
Unbelievable that this little piece of junk could be such a big problem.
Okay, the piece of junk in question could be one of the cartridges that he uses in the fight with the heroes. That can work.
No wonder this circuit failed. It says made in Japan.
Two problems: circuit and Japan. There are no circuits in the video source, and Japan is not relevant to the story of Made in Abyss.
What do you mean, Doc? All the best stuff is made in Japan.
It would be strange for Reg to talk so casually to Bondrewd and call him Doc, but not really a big problem. It's the second reference to Japan that is the real issue. What we have here is a weak connection between two characters, dialogue which doesn't mesh all that well with the video source, and a joke that isn't even especially funny. This is where the idea should have died. Not every connection is a good one, and not every idea is worth the efforts. Unfortunately, the editor was not deterred. We can only speculate the workings of the inner mind of this editor, but it may have gone something like this. Doc Brown is a scientist. Bondrewd is a scientist. We can lock that in. But what about Marty McFly? He doesn't really have any connection with the character Reg, so what can we do to improve this? Marty McFly is a guitarist. He can ride a skateboard. He refers to Doc Brown as Doc. Reg doesn't share any of these traits. Perhaps we should try thinking outside the box and doing something different. How about replacing Reg with Rico? No, that's worse. How about Nanachi? No, that could never... Oh, wait a minute. Nanachi is a weird mutant rabbit person. Bugs Bunny is a rabbit. Bugs Bunny has his famous catchphrase, "What's up, Doc?" Doc and Doc. Marty McFly and Nanachi. That just might work. This is the connection the editor decided to go with. If toilet paper was as thin as this connection is, you would not wipe with it. Still, there's the issue with the dialogue. Circuit and Japan needs to be changed. Instead of circuit, it should say cartridge. That'll bolster the connection to the video source. And instead of Made in Japan, let's go with Abyss. Made in Abyss. This will have the added bonus of name-dropping the video source's title. One more thing. The connection between Marty and Nanachi may not be immediately obvious, so giving them the voice of Bugs Bunny was a decision. A threadbare connection between two characters. A feeble, convoluted connection to two others. Altering lines of dialogue to force a fake connection between the audio and video sources, changing the voice of one of the characters to that of a completely unrelated third parties. What you see here is the blueprint for one of the worst ideas in AMV Hell history. Finally, there is the matter of the dialogue's alteration. How can it be done? The editor could have potentially found some clips of Christopher Lloyd and spliced together the words cartridge and abyss. That would have been a challenge, but within the realms of reason. Then there's Bugs Bunny. Did he ever say the words Made in Abyss? I honestly don't know. Finding them would have definitely been a chore. Real hard work. But hard work and effort is honest, and it'll all be worth it. Right? Effort, skill, art, Forget all of them. Just use AI. I have 2 gripes with this decision. Gripe 1. By using AI voices, the video ends up essentially using a mixture of existing audio and wholly new original audio. And here's the thing. AMV Hell and original audio generally do not mix. The best evidence for this claim can be seen in AMV Mini's challenge number 9. There's a certain artistry that comes from taking 2 unrelated sources, pairing them together, and making something greater than the sum of its parts. It is the bulk of what AMV Hell is. However, when you create one of those 2 sources to work together by design, the equation is broken. The product is no longer a mashup, but an original parody. This skit tries to have things both ways and fails. It is neither an honest AMV Hell mashup nor an original parody. It is a conceptual abomination. Gripe 2. AI generation. The year is 2025. AI-generated content is a hot-button topic. To keep things short, my opinion is simply this. AI is a tool. Tools are neither good nor bad, but they can be used for good things and or bad things. AI in education, fine. AI in medicine, great. Business efficiency, sure, why not? AI in creating music, creating animations, writing stories, gross. Original audio in the past has come from people. People who have shown courage and performed. Sometimes they sounded good.
My name is Mihoshi Kurimitsu, and I'm a Galaxy Police Detective.
Sometimes they sounded bad.
Whenever I eat Italian, I can't poop for a whole week.
Sometimes they sounded good, but had terrible scripting.
That's beside the point. Irresponsible.
The important thing is, it all came from an honest place. Human effort. By using a machine to mimic a human performance, the editor's efforts here are dishonest at best and cowardly at worst. What's especially embarrassing is that the use of these AI voices doesn't even improve the skit. If anything, they only make the feeble connection all the more apparent. The editor has graffitied the audio source of this skit by using fabricated sound, and it was all for nothing. This sickens me. This video started with a weak premise, made bad decision after bad decision, and ended up as something unfunny, overproduced, and ugly. This skit is terrible. But terrible still isn't worst. There's more. This skit is the 10th video to play in AMV Hell 8, and it begins at the 3 minutes and 10 seconds mark. The fact that this video was given such an early slot in the play order is depressing. When it comes to long videos like AMV Hell 8, not everybody is going to commit to watching it all in one sitting. People who discover the video by accident may even be daunted by it. But still, they may give it a chance. They'll watch maybe for 1 minute, and see if it interests them. If it does, they'll watch for 2 minutes, and see if it keeps their interest. Then 3, then 4, then 5, and so on. Every minute and every skit on top of this runs the risk of never being seen, and for that reason it's pretty much a no-brainer that the front end of the playlist consists of good tone-setting content. You don't put your worst products in the store window, you show customers your best sellers. Out of 260 videos, this one got the number 10 slot. Shameful. Normally, things like this are circumstantial. I mean, the play order of the video is completely out of the editor's hands, and that would be something for Zarxrax and SSG to answer to. That would be the case, normally. But this skit is not normal, because the most shocking aspect of this video is the identity of its editor. With so many bad decisions made, I think we could safely assume the editor of this video is a rank amateur, probably even somebody who has never done this sort of thing before. Certainly not somebody with any kind of history with AMV Hell, or any kind of understanding of what makes an AMV Hell video appealing. The editor of this video is none other than some stupid guy with nothing better to do. One of the co-creators of AMV Hell itself. If the video had been created by a complete newcomer, we could have forgiven them for not knowing any better. SSG should have known better. With this skit, a statement has been made. Bad connections between video and audio sources. Insider humor that excludes general audiences. Fake components generated without human artistic endeavor. These things are all acceptable, and that makes me very sad. At some point during the creation of this video, something was lost. Maybe it was the ability to just take a step back and see the forest instead of the trees. Maybe it was an idea. The idea that something as simple and pure as taking a Chinese cartoon and splicing it with ill-fitting audio just wasn't good enough anymore. It is my belief that this honest little idea can still make people smile. I just hope that more people can agree. SSG has produced some wonderful content over the years, and we should all be very grateful for the gifts that he has given us. Of course, we can't simply take the good without the bad, and SSG has certainly made some truly awful things. To a degree, I can admire him for trying something different and crashing and burning. But this skit is my personal pick for the worst video to appear in AMV Hell 8.